My plan is to have a monorail in the city, but hanging upside down. It should run along the buildings in a large curve. How is that going to work? I have no idea. Okay, let's start with the first step, the supports. 2 points are crucial here. First, they must fit into the picture in terms of design, size and the space they occupy without ruining it. So probably something like this. Second, they must be damn stable. After all, everyone wants to ride it. For the prototype, I'll just try it with bricks. I think a height of 30 should be good. For the upper part, I will definitely be inspired by this. To test how stable the whole thing is, we need a kind of rail. So I had to think for a while and then I had an idea. Here we can easily let these wheels run and it works perfectly. With these parts, I think we already have the approach for the solution to the curve. I hope. First, let's test the whole thing here with some weights. Perfect. Before we can order the parts, we just need to solve the problem with the curve. If you connect many 1x2 bricks together, they become flexible. And if you connect even more, you can get a whole circle. I've used this building technique for the whole of the container ship and hopefully it will also be a solution for our curve. However, it's an illegal building technique, so I have to run away from the police again. But the temptation to finally achieve my desired curve is too big. Instead of bricks, we will use these with plates and tiles. This is how it would look from the front, but now comes the real difficulty. How do we make sure it stays in shape by itself? And here's the solution. It took a very long time. We just need these 2 parts. First we attach them at a distance of 2 studs here, and now we can easily use them to pull everything together. The whole thing is pretty tense. Back here we attach these flexible parts so that the wheels can run here. Okay, now since we have finished the prototype for the supports and the curve, we can order on Bricklink. But first I need to know what to order. So I created such a support with Rail on a computer in Stud.io as it should look in the end. I can now create a list and easily order the right parts in the right quantity. However, I can well imagine that we still need some details for the monorail itself. So before we can order everything, we first need to work on a rough design for the monorail. It should definitely be a modern model, so I just start with the front part, which should be slightly rounded downwards. The color white is not certain yet. Maybe I will use these parts as window, maybe not. The whole thing should be a prototype for now. Next I experiment here with the black parts and the window, but in such a curvature. These 2 parts could be useful for that, but let's see if it works out in the end in terms of distances. Now comes the first big challenge. Somehow I have to manage to close the gaps, and this is the best solution that comes to my mind so far. However, I was not sure if there's not already a counterpart to this, like with these 2. So I searched all of Stud.io for something like that, but unfortunately I only found a suitable part for the small one. Some time has passed until I finally found a solution to cope with the gaps. The order is submitted now. After 2 days, the first 2 packages had arrived. Okay, let's sort that quickly. The third package has not been shipped after 4 days, but we can already start with the supports. There are a total of 6 supports. But before these come into the city, I will swap the position of these 2 buildings, because a new building should come here at the back. And the new arrangement will give us a much better view of the building. Let's first focus on completing the monorail. In the lower part there is a glass floor where you can view the traffic from above. Wow. Next we come to the sides, which are very simple and built with a slot construction, so the bricks are placed on the side. The front part with the curvature is a bit more complicated. Here I used such small slopes that are attached to each other. The next is the upper part, which initially consists only of plates. And I actually use these parts like in a prototype, which simply fold down. Now only the wheels are missing. And finally we still have to get the part in the middle, and I have already solved something like this using these flexible hoses and hashtag plates. So we will try the same here. Okay, it works. Hopefully it works in a curve as well. The last bricks have meanwhile arrived and we can now bring everything into the city. The first one are the supports, and now we can quickly get the rail in between in 100 volt speed. Okay, now let's add that. looks pretty good. Next we also get to the curve, and you can already see how the whole thing contracts and is perfectly held in shape. Now only the flexible parts are missing, and then the whole thing can go into the city. Finally, we only have these two supports with the matching rail, which we only have to connect with the other part. And with that, the whole rail construction is complete. Maybe a more modern building will come here instead of the cinema. Okay, only the monorail is missing, and the answer to the question of whether it can run here. On a straight, it's no problem, even in a curve. Although you have to be a bit more careful here.